Hello students, and welcome to the next lesson in our AS Level Psychology course. Today we're going to be looking at part 13 of our section on attachment, which is all about maternal deprivation. Maternal deprivation. Bobby said that maternal deprivation is the failure to form an attachment due to the separation of a child from its caregiver. He conducted a study in order to investigate its effects. There was a kind of a study that did support this, which was Harlow's study, which showed that the monkeys that he investigated on did show long-term emotional development issues because they had maternal deprivation. You can check out that video in the AS Psychology playlist. However, it was shown that Harlow's monkeys suffered privation because they never had formed an attachment with their mothers. But maternal deprivation is when you form an attachment or are forming one, and then you're separated from the caregiver. So you have your caregiver, but if you're separated from her, in case of the mother, you can then suffer of these consequences. The 44 Thieves. Bobby investigated 88 children in a guidance counselling clinic. 44 of these children were recognised as thieves. 32% of these children had affectionless psychopathy. This means that they had the inability to show concern or affection for another being. 86% of the people with affectionless psychopathy had early prolonged separation from their mothers. So this shows that maternal deprivation can definitely impact emotional and social development on children. So of these people who did have affectionless psychopathy, the vast majority, almost 90% of them, had suffered maternal deprivation. Now we're going to evaluate Bobby's study of the 44 Thieves. Schaefer and Emerson said that one couldn't necessarily be led to suffer consequences due to maternal deprivation because they have the ability to form multiple attachments. A case study is what happened with the two Czech twins. They had two Czech twins that were locked up into a cellar because they had abusive parents when they were older. When the two Czech twins were finally discovered and they were taken out, they found that they didn't actually suffer due to the consequences of maternal deprivation. This was because they could form attachments with each other, and as a result, they didn't have those consequences of not having an attachment. This also happened in the Holocaust, where 6 children weren't in the care of any parents. They didn't suffer long-term consequences of maternal deprivation because they had multiple attachments with each other. So as a result, they didn't suffer from any of these long-term consequences which Bowlby said would exist. Research was correlational in the study, so it was hard to establish if the mannerisms of the children were due to the maternal deprivation. It could have been just by chance. Also, when separated, it's unknown what care they had experienced. It may have been the type of care that they had received which changed the way they acted, not the act of separation itself. Here are some questions on maternal deprivation. What I'd like you to do now is have a go at attempting these on another sheet of paper by pausing the video to give yourself time. Then hit play to see the answers. Here are the answers. If you got all 4 of these right, congratulations. I'd advise you to move on to the next video, which will be looking at the factors of the disruption of attachments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out the website revisealevel.co.uk or comment down below if you have any more questions. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.